welcome back to Open Heart with Noor, the space where we embrace truth, vulnerability, and share stories that help shape us. For today, we have a guest that is truly inspiring. Her name is Ceri Samvilian. Ceri is a certified life coach, author, and speaker who specializes in guiding individuals, especially women and mothers, through transformative journeys of self discovery and empowerment. With a passion for personal development, she helps her clients reconnect with their authentic selves, overcome limiting beliefs, and create a purpose driven life. She is also the author of Journal and Discover Your Authentic Self, a reflective guide designed to help individuals explore their values, identities, and work through limiting beliefs, as well as build a life aligned with their true selves. So, without further ado, let's all welcome Ceri Samvilian. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, sweetie. How are you?
I'm fine, all is well.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Sherry, as Noah said, and the reason why I love my job as a life coach is because I love helping people. I love being supportive, but most importantly for me at the moment, because of the journey that I've gone through in my life, I've realized that there's so much more hard work when you do this thing called life alone than when you have help and support from other people who've gone through it and who have tools to support you. You do not need to do life alone, and it doesn't need to be that hard. You can get a cheat sheet, and the cheat sheet is having a coach next to you. And this is what I love about what I'm doing. And at the moment, this year, my focus is on supporting career moms find their wings and rise like a phoenix, meaning supporting them in the way that we lose ourselves in life. We become moms, become wives, and we lose ourselves and we don't know who we are anymore because we are playing this role and other people are needing us. And then we do this thing, being a wife, being a mom, being a colleague, until you sit down and you ask yourself, okay, so who am I and what do I want? And that's why I come in and I support you doing that to figure that out. So now you can live your life with purpose and now you can live your life with more vigor because you think that by the age of 30 or 40, you need to have figured life out and you need to do everything for your family. And that's not true. You can do so much more. And we as women become so much more, there's more intuition in us and there's more drive in us when we get into those roles that we need to use it to support others and to grow ourselves. So that's what I do. So that's me, Sherry.
Well, I'm sure everyone can already tell how great of a speaker Ceri is and how much she gets everyone attention. So let's start with firstly talking about your personal story. So, what led you to the work you do today in general, and especially around storytelling and journaling and healing and just emotional intelligence?
Yeah. So great questions, Noah. So first, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and to be part
Thank
of
you for being here.
it. So the reason I'm doing this is actually I live in Austria and I came here and got married and then I had my children. And at a certain point when my kids went to school and they didn't need me as much, I had to ask myself, is this all there is to my life? And what happened is I lost my drive and I wanted more. And I especially wanted more because I felt like there was more that I felt I could give to this thing called life. And there's more that I could do and not just play a role and wear this mask. And so what I did is then I dove into the personal development world. And what it helped me understand and see is that I am more to it. I actually have talents, which I found out by stepping out of my comfort zone, because that's the only place you figure things out of your comfort zone. And then I realized I love helping people. Even the direction that I did in my career, which is human resource management, was all about supporting and helping people. But now I wanted to do it in a way that I can help them actually have feasible achievements and reach their goals and really help them specifically reach something tangible. And that's what the gift of life coaching is. And I thought it was amazing. So I got myself certified. And I've been coaching for the past 5 years, and it's been a journey and a beautiful journey. But it really started in the point of me trying to figure myself out, and also I want to show other women that you are allowed to change. You are allowed to be something different. You do not have to be in this same box that we are put into. You can transform yourself because each one of us know has a gift.
Mm.
And if you the reason we are here in this life is to explore that gift because that gift is a gift to other people and it'll help other people. But you have to figure that first what it is.
Mm.
And so that's why I'm so passionate about it because once I figured what my gift was, I realized I could be more and give more.
And do you think maybe moving to a different country and city and being surrounded by just a different lifestyle also triggered um, you to realize your personal narrative and your beliefs and what was holding you back from actually finding your passion and beginning the process of rewriting your story?
Yeah, absolutely. When you become an immigrant, because that's what we are, I lived in Kenya, I'm born and raised, I'm Kenyan. And when I came here, everything changes. The culture is different. The weather is different for me,
Of
especially
course.
because I come from such a warm continent, obviously. The people are different, and the language I have to relearn and learn German. And then you realize, okay, I have a blank page.
Mm,
And now it's about me deciding what it is I'm writing on these pages.
yeah.
Because really, it's a fresh start.
Yeah.
And so either in the beginning, I thought, okay, maybe that I'm a new wife, I'm a new mom. There are roles that I think I need to do and be and react in a certain way because I'm also a Black woman in Europe and a Black mom. And I got tired of playing those roles, you know? But the thing is, because you start doing things because of what you think other people expect of you. And
Hmm.
that's so tiring. That can be so exhausting.
Of course.
And you lose yourself. And so I thought, okay, for a long time, it was, what is it about me that I need to become? What is it about me that uh I'm unique because I've come with my own story, I've come with my own experience. But just because I'm unique doesn't mean I can't connect with other people. And so, but another thing is because I'm unique and because I'm so different, I can separate myself so easily
Yeah.
from others, right? And think there's something I'm not able to connect with other people. And that's a narrative I had to change.
Mm.
I had to change the fact that even though I am an immigrant living here, doesn't mean I'm less of, doesn't mean I know not as much as they do. We are all humans having this human experience, and it's just about what it is that I want to put into. So I really had to change the way uh, I thought people see me, and
Hmm.
just keep to and just think about how do I see me?
Hmm.
That's the most important thing. And of course, with time, I'm over 40, and now I do not care what other people think about me because I realize that that means I'm giving other people control of myself. And that's a lot of power for people to have. And so when I take back the reins into my life, I have more control, meaning now I can write those empty pages the way I really want to write them, with more conviction, with more heart, with more authenticity of who I am. And that's what I decided to do. And this is why I encourage people to look within
Hmm.
and stop thinking about and trying to see what everybody else is doing out there. think about you first. And
Yeah.
it's not selfish. It's actually aligning yourself. Because once you do that, your even though you're at work or at school, it doesn't matter. Even your teachers or your boss or whoever is telling you what to do, you are still aligning to what is important to you, and people respect you for that,
Yeah.
you know?
I completely agree with everything you said, and also comparing myself to your move as well to
Mm.
Vienna. I completely understand that feeling of you're entering a new place with
Yes.
empty pages and wanting to rewrite your story, and it's honestly such a inspiring, um, way to live life. Thinking, well, no one knows me here, no one knows anything about me, so why not make something of myself that I actually, want to see. But also relating to the last thing you said of reaching a certain point in your life where you stop caring. That's something I feel like many people in our generation right now, with social media and everything going on,
Mm.
it's so hard
Mm.
to enter that phase of, ugh, I don't really care anymore.
Yes.
How can someone reach that point, earlier and make use of time and not
Yeah.
having to hit yourself against multiple walls until you actually reach that point?
It's a journey. It's a journey. For young people, first, what's so important to understand, and I'm always telling my kids this, social media is not real. And I put it very simply. I can, because one time my daughter was like, look at this, there's this influencer she's following and
Mm,
have such great lives and they're doing such amazing things. And I said, sweetie, when I put up my phone and I look into a camera and say all these magical things and I put it down, is my life when I'm putting up my phone, or is my life what happens when I'm putting it down?
mm,
We fail to realize that it's just somebody who took a phone out, who took a camera out, is reading a script,
mm.
is just living a moment. They just captured a moment, but it
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's their life,
yeah,
right? And this is why we have people who may have millions of followers or things are going well and you hear they're depressed or they commit suicide. Why? Because those moments were not their life. That's not their life.
yeah.
That's who they are just because they put up a camera in front of their face. So it's trying to differentiate, I mean, differentiate what it is that's happening, but
Mm,
also realize people are paid to do this. Let's remember that. And also understand, use your social media as inspiration.
mm,
Don't use it in for it to dictate the way you live your life,
mm,
right? It's a tool to inspire you to do something else, right? It's not to be somebody else,
mhm,
right? So, and then watch how much time you spend. When you have your iPhone or other tools, they actually tell you how many hours you spend in a day.
yeah,
And right? And check that and see the reality of that. And you'll be surprised how much screen time you have. And then ask yourself, okay, how can I break that? Because
mm,
it's becoming an addiction, obviously,
yeah,
right? It is an addiction. So this is what I'm telling my kids all the time. Okay, because I know my kids love reading and they love drawing and being arty and being they love doing that stuff. But when they got their phones, it became less.
mm,
So ask yourself, what is it that I love to do?
mm,
When am I going to plan to do these things? What time do I want to do them? Plan stuff.
mm,
We we as I mean young people forget that you can plan your time and your day. And when you do that, that's taking control of your day. And
Yeah.
the more you get used to practicing, taking control of what you do and who you are, then you start realizing more about yourself. Now,
Mm.
when you let the social media take control of you, that's when you lose yourself and you get detached, right? And so I always say, when I see my kids, okay, so how long have you been on your phone today? And what is it that what happened to the book that we bought that I know you were so excited to read?
Mm.
What happened to the art piece you wanted to paint? And I know you love doing that. Um, ask yourself, am I doing the things that I love? And you can do a little bit of it. I always do a little bit, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, just a little bit every day. And one thing I love installing also in my girls is journaling, because I love journaling, obviously. Journaling is another way that I love because it's important to capture your essence in every era of your life.
Mm.
I love reading who I was in my 20s and in my 30s because it helped me understand me, and it was a space for me to share my thoughts with no judgment, share my experiences. It was a space to reflect on what was happening to me at that moment.
Mm.
And it's such a wonderful friend, actually, because, I remember when I was a teenager, because that's when I started journaling, when I was really young, is I didn't feel like I had a good friend, and my journal was the space where I could have a discussion with myself about something that was going on. And it made me connect to myself. And that makes it such a powerful person because nobody's then going to tell you who you are because you know who you are.
Yeah.
So if these tools can, if you can do these things when you're younger and you get used to doing this, organizing your time, bringing in and doing things that you love, journaling your feelings. Imagine how the emotional intelligence you're creating and the understanding of who you are at such a young age,
Yeah.
right? And using that now in your 30s when you're in your career, when you're in your prime, right? Because this is the thing, we can prime ourselves when we are very young to be
Mm.
amazing people because life will hit you every single time with something. But if you have tools and you know how to use them and things come and you know where to put them,
Mm.
you can be a very powerful person.
So, as you said, how powerful journaling could be for your personal journey, um, and how it kind of shapes our emotions on our decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, and how it affects our identities. How would you define your self story? And why is this journey so powerful for oneself when it comes to, narrating your self story?
Okay. So this is the thing. A journal is a very it in simple terms. I one day asked a psychologist
Mm.
if they encourage their clients to use journals.
Mm.
And they said definitely.
Mm.
Why? Because what happens when you write down your thoughts and your feelings, right? Many things happen in your mind. One, you're honest with yourself because you've taken a pen and you're writing down what it is that's happening. There is no breaks, there are no I need to write it a certain way. You're just expressing yourself. Now, when you do that, you're letting things go.
Mm.
So what happens is when you go through a stressful situation and you go through like you're trying to figure things out or you're going through something, when you keep it in, there's no
Yeah,
outlet,
yeah.
right? So journaling becomes that outlet. So when you start releasing what's happening and you
Mm.
start writing it down,
Mm.
the fact that you're releasing it already eases the situation down. That's
Mm.
one. And this is why psychologists use it because it's a fact that it decreases suicidal thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're letting it go, right? Okay. Another thing is, once you have written down this issue, this problem, whatever it is that you felt, oh my God, I have this 50-kilo stone hanging on me, when you start writing it down and you see the issue from a different perspective, because now you're reading your thoughts.
Yeah.
What happens is you become more objective and you're able to see it in a different way. And
Mm.
suddenly, for most of the time, you're able to solve your own problem.
Yeah.
And this is another reason that psychologists actually love using it, because you're there with them for 1 hour and you can't tell them so many stories, but they're encouraging them. You can solve your own issues, and then we deal with the top issues.
Yeah.
But you can deal with a lot of yourself, and that is such a powerful thing to learn how to deal with whatever it is that you're going through.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Another thing about journaling is it's a great space to self-reflect.
Mm.
Why I have so many journals, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 journals, of course, that
Wow.
I've had. Yeah, I just have too many because I love it, but also because I've done it since I was a teenager. And what happens is I love going back to see what was happening to me in my 20s, in my 30s, because it helps me to see how far I've grown.
Mm.
We as human beings forget that we have moved from this point to this point to this point, and we think, oh, I've not changed that much as a person. Not much it has been happening for me, but because you wrote down what was going on and what was happening, you're like, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. And it helps you see that you do change. You have the ability to do that. You can grow. You
Mm.
can learn new things. You do see life in a different way. That's
Mm.
another powerful thing about journaling.
Mm.
And one the thing that I now use it more
Mm.
is now to help me in my journey of growth
Mm.
now and adding things into my life.
Mm.
One really great thing that what I do for my journal, and it's called Journal and Discover Your Authentic Self, is I wanted to, because I've been writing on empty pages for such a long time, I wanted to combine my skills as a life coach and my love for journaling. A life coach loves asking questions. That's our key. Questions are such beautiful things because I may ask you something, and what it does is you think about it and think, oh my goodness, I didn't think about something that way. And questions unlock parts of you. That's what a
Yeah.
question does.
Yeah.
And so I may ask you something and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't think about it that way. And because I think about it that a different way, I see it differently, meaning now I have an answer for that thing that I thought I was stuck on, right? And
Mm.
that's what I did. I decided to create a journal with different questions. So the journal, what it does, it's put in sections
Mhm.
and different sections of personal development and personal awareness. And we go through things like gratitude. That's like
Mm.
the priority. How writing 3 or 4 things you're grateful for every day. And that's how you start your journaling. The next one, setting an intention. Setting an intention meaning what it is that I want to have. Why are these things so important? As we know, gratitude has become proven that when you're grateful and you begin your day or you end your evening grateful, it puts you in a mindset of feeling more than feeling lack,
Mhm.
right? And when you're in space of gratitude, you're in a space of wanting more and expecting more of yourself and life and your day,
Mm.
right? Gratitude is such a beautiful way to realize what you have. And so now you're open to receive more.
Mm.
Setting an intention helps you focus on something, focus on what it is that you want to have in the day, right?
Mhm.
Meaning you are now saying, I want to be more in control. And we've said how important it is to be in control of your day, of your life. And that's what these are the tools I'm trying to get into you as you're going through your journal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go exploring things. We explore your values, meaning what's important to you, right? Understanding that and how you can add that to your daily life. We explore your daily habits. Have you thought about that? What are your habits? Do you
Mm,
know what they are? And what habits do you want to have? And then start creating that. So we do that and so many other things that you do with the journal. So now your journal is filled with all these activities and things that you can think about your life in different ways and adding value into
mm,
yourself and growing and understanding how much you can control who you are
mm,
by your habits, by focusing on your values, by setting an intention, by being grateful, and all of this stuff. So you grow as a person, and that's the next step for me. As you're asking, what's the next step of growth? Is this?
mm,
It's just putting into myself so much more so that I can be more, right?
mm.
And that's for me. That's what I love about journaling.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I've also journaled on and off uh for a while, for longer than a while, for since high school.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a great feeling just being able to see your words in front of you. It truly does help you to kind of I feel like it makes my issue smaller. So when it's in my head, it kind of magnifies the issue because I actually made a podcast about this last week, um, that I felt like my thoughts were like the iCloud. So who
Mm,
knows what an iCloud is? Like, how can you reach the iCloud? So when you
exactly.
physically have it in front of you,
Yes.
you can hold it and it feels tangible, it feels easy to reach. It helps you grasp the idea more and understand that, okay, if I was able to word it out so easily, then
Yeah.
I'm sure I can, find a solution to this issue. So it's something so small is so powerful that you can't even it doesn't like it's not something you can understand until you actually process and go through it.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
completely understand.
Powerful tool. Yeah.
But I think many of my friends, when I've kind of advised them to journal, they always tend to have specific stories or experiences that kind of holds them back. It's like they have a very limited story that they keep repeating to themselves, and it's so unconscious that they don't they're not aware that
Mm.
they're limiting themselves so much based on, just overthinking.
Yeah.
Do you maybe have like a practical example
Yeah.
to how you can transform your story and like rewriting your
Yeah.
narrative, kind of?
Yeah. I completely understand that. We do that. And it's a form of habit
Mm-hmm.
because a story, the thing that we tell ourselves is also your limiting belief. And beliefs are basically things you tell yourself over and over and over until it becomes true for you.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, one really huge limiting belief I had, and one story I used to tell myself was that I'm not smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself that because when we were younger, so I have three siblings, we're four, and my brother was a smart one. My sister was a smart one. My youngest brother was too young anyway. But because I had these two on my side who were the smart ones, she was like my sister is and still is. She's this she loves the English language and she's so good in how she expresses herself and how she's so I was like, oh my gosh, that's her thing. My brother is like was like a He did actuarial science. So he was like this, really smart guy. So I'm in between these people and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just, the normal kid who just has to work extra hard to get wherever she has to go.
Mm,
And I just did things. I never tried to do too much because I was like, I'm not smart enough anyway.
mm,
And that's how I lived my life
mm,
and grew up until I started my personal development journey and we started talking about these things,
mm,
the stories you keep telling yourself and the limiting beliefs. And as I was thinking about it, because I started asking myself, okay, so what is it that I'm telling myself all the time? And that popped up immediately for me.
mm,
Um, and I realized that so this is how you need to recognize what it is that you're telling yourself. Because I told myself that I am not smart enough,
mm,
that I am not intelligent and um, I'm not able to advance myself in any way. What it did, it stopped me from trying anything
mm,
that could have improved me or brought me further in life.
mm.
And that's what these stories do. They stop you.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was ask myself, okay, why first do I think that? And then ask yourself this question. Is it true? Is it really true?
Mm,
And if it's really true, and I've done all of these things, what is it that I have missed? And what is it that I have not done because I have thought about this thought?
mm,
And when you think about it like that, you're like, oh my goodness, I have missed so many opportunities. I have stopped myself from doing so many things just because of a thought. Is it true? No. Because have you tried to do something else that that and has shown you that you are?
mm,
No. Have just told myself that so I've not even tried to be anything better.
mm,
So it's important to ask yourself first, first figure out, ask yourself, what is that thing that I keep telling myself
mm,
that is stopping me from
mm,
doing more? Then you know that's your limiting belief. Then the second thing is to ask yourself, okay, is it true?
mm,
And the third thing is, and this is the key now, what is it that I want to believe about myself? What is it that I want to keep telling myself? Because do you really want to keep telling yourself you're not smart enough? Is that the story you want to tell yourself?
mm,
What is it that you want to keep saying? That I am curious, actually. I want more. I love learning.
mm,
And those are the things I had to tell myself. And once I did, actually, that's the trigger that I had that made me realize I want to do a certification. I want to do more emotional intelligence certificates. I want to do these things that will help me be a better life coach.
mm,
But I couldn't do it if I thought I'm not smart enough,
mm.
right? I just realized that I learn differently. That's it. And you'll realize, oh God, it's just a technique. It's about a technique. It's just something I can change. And then I
Yeah.
see things differently. And that's the thing about a story. Dig into that story
Mm,
and filter it, right? And
mm,
find out, ask yourself these questions that we've just said.
mm,
And then at the end of it, change that story. Don't leave it hanging. What
mm.
do I want to believe about myself? And how can I do that?
Yeah. That's very important because I feel like fear is such a huge issue when it comes
Yeah.
to being aware of
Yeah.
what you're dealing with and what you're telling yourself, as you said. And but the issue is sometimes um, it's not just what you're telling yourself, but it's also what you tell yourself based on what you hear around you.
Yeah.
So for me, for example, as a child, I heard a lot from my teachers and just people in school in general kind of doubt my smartness for other
Mm,
reasons. And it made me kind of rewrite a story to myself that I'm not smart enough.
yeah.
Because if my teacher thinks I'm not smart and I can't get good grades in his class, then obviously he's right. Why would he lie? He's a teacher, he's older, he knows better.
Yeah.
I'm sure what he's saying is true. So I kept telling myself that, and until I decided to say no, like what he's saying is not true. Yes, I'm limited to certain areas because, well, it's how my brain works, just as you said. Um,
Yes.
but I excel in many other areas that this professor doesn't know.
Yeah.
I used that as my advantage to do better in other things.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so I completely agree with everything
Yeah.
you just said.
Thank you. I like the what Wayne Dyer. There's a beautiful writer called Wayne Dyer. He passed away, but he's amazing. He says, change the way you look at things, and the way you look at things will change.
Mm, that's very
And
true.
simply that, different perspective, just change it, and it'll change. Yeah, so it's amazing. It's just a small thing.
Yeah, it is. I feel like, as I told you before, I was very on and off with my journaling because I
Mm,
felt like I was dealing with brain fog or like writer's block where you're just stuck and you don't know how to continue or what else to talk about, maybe.
yeah.
Um, how can someone overcome that stage of, being stuck and not knowing how to continue their journaling?
So one, you journal when you're going through something. You're
Mhm.
not going through something all the time. That will quite a stressful life, I think. But you journal when you get inspired to. But make sure when you find that it's a week and you've not written anything, make sure you do write something down.
Mhm.
So for it to be first, for it not to be like boring and just the same things, look for journal prompts.
Mm,
As I said, questions are the key and they will unlock something in you. Look for a journal prompt that can reveal something interesting for you. So think about a part of yourself you want to explore or something that you want to deal with. And then, Google AI these days, ChatGPT, they can give you amazing stuff.
yeah.
So, you don't have to do that much work to find a journal prompt.
Mm,
Get a journal prompts, and then um, you find out, maybe have a discussion with your friends. It's always nice to do things together,
mhm.
right? And ask them about their journaling experience and discuss things that if it's with your family, with your friends, people who, of course, you're very close to,
Yeah,
and make it a norm to talk about it. Like make it's just a normal thing we discuss. I was journaling this about myself and I figured out what's your experience with this and that, and it helps you have deeper conversations,
yeah,
you know. And this helps us grow differently. This helps us other people to see you differently, you to see other people differently. It helps us
mm,
connect. And that's
yeah,
a thing that I feel this is one of my highest values is connection. I crave connecting. And for me, when I have these deep conversations, it helps me connect with people. And I
mm,
love that. So journaling can be such a different tool. It's such a in-depth and diverse thing
yeah,
in your life that can bring so much fruits into your life that you can use. It is not a stagnant thing. And if you're interested, obviously, hit me up and I'll give you my journal and you can start your own journey
I would love
um,
to.
of self-awareness,
Mm,
which, as I said, the more self-aware you are, the more powerful you are as a person. And the more you're giving yourself such a great foundation
Mm,
of who you are to start building your life onto it. And it's so important to have that.
yeah. It's honestly journaling, as you said, is very complex and so many things to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, so as we wrap up for
Yes.
today,
Yes.
what's one thing that you want to like just end this podcast with and maybe feel like you want to share with everyone and help them feel like they're not trapped anymore and kind of find their story and their purpose in life.
The one thing that really changed my perspective on myself and life was to understand that one, it's never too late. It's never too late to do something different and to be the person you want to be. It's
Mm,
never too late. It's never too late to change careers. It's never too late to change relationships. It's never too late to start going back to school. It's never too late to do anything that you really want to do. Just do it. And the second thing, because it's important and is related to that, get out of your comfort zone.
mm,
When you're out of your comfort zone, that is where you'll find growth. What I've found, Noor, is we in life, as humans, one thing we are all addicted to and is so important to all of us is growth.
yeah,
Human nature. It's in our human nature to grow, and we need that. And that's why, they talk about evolution, you see that they say that we started bending down and then we stood up. It's growth. We
yeah,
need it. The world, what is it doing? It's changing every century. It's growth. It helps us see what we are made up of, and it helps us get more, love our life more.
yeah,
And the reason we get stuck, the reason we fall into sicknesses or depressions or all of these things is we're not creating enough growth.
mm,
But growth, and this is the key, starts from inside of us first. You have to start within. And when you do that, then it'll come out
yeah,
and it'll show. So I'm always telling people start from within and aligning yourself first. And
mm,
that's what journaling will do. That's what coaching will do. That's what all these things, these tools will do. And then your life just opens up. You see things differently. Also, because you do that, because you see it differently, different opportunities come towards you.
yeah, I agree.
And then you're growing. And then your life is just opening up and things just change. And you wonder how you change your own life.
Mm. Sherry, thank you so much for this
Thank you for having me.
beautiful conversation and for your time. Honestly, rethinking now, there was one sentence that Sherry said in a lecture that I attended in Vienna was your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. The moment you said that, I said, I have to talk to her. Like, I need to meet her. I need to have a one-on-one conversation with her. It just has to happen. And honestly, without me getting out of my comfort zone and reaching out to you and going up to you and speaking to you, I wouldn't have had this beautiful conversation with you today. So thank you again. And thank you for everyone listening and that joined today's podcast. I would like to hear everyone's thoughts, and hopefully, what we talked about today is something you guys needed to hear. I'm sure anyone that's starting with journaling and heard what we talked about today could be maybe encouraging for you. And from everything I took from Sherry, I learned that you're not your past, you are the author of your next chapter. So hopefully that's also the same for you. Thank you again for joining Open Heart with Noor, and see everyone next week.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.